Have you ever wanted something so bad that you would kill for it, but are unsure on whether you should? Well, then Macbeth is the guide for you. Macbeth will take you through all the choices you'll have to face when killing for what you want. All the murder and deceit, with just a touch of mental lucidity, are what you'll face on your journey, as well when you're killing for what you want. Though the story is old and the author long dead, its contents are still applicable for today's feelings for killing for what you want.
The dead author itself is William Shakespeare, who was a renowned English poet, playwright, and actor. He is believed to have been born on April 23rd, 1564, in Stratford-upon-Avon, which is also the date he died on, in 1616. Shakespeare's plays are perhaps what he is mostly known for, but they are not all he wrote. Shakespeare's poems also remain popular to this day. For example, one of his well-known lines is from sonnet number 18, which is, "Shall I compare thee to a summer's day?" Shakespeare's works in known total include 38 plays, 2 narrative poems, 154 sonnets, and a smattering of other poems. One of his more famous plays is Macbeth, or also known as the Scottish play. The play itself was written for King James I, who was the new monarch of England at the time, which explains all the witchcraft in the play, as that's what King James was interested in. The play is a tragedy in 5 acts, written sometime in 1606 to 1607. It's the shortest of all Shakespeare's tragedies. It also has a more colorful background than some of his other plays, as many of the actors or actresses in the play mysteriously become ill or die while being involved in the production. The play holds what many theater people believe to be a curse and never refer to the play by name in the theater, hence the Scottish play. The curse can be broken, though, by exiting the theater, spinning around 3 times, spitting, cursing, and then knock on the theater door to be allowed back in. The play itself chronicles Macbeth seizing power over Scotland and then his subsequent destruction. Both his rise and his fall in power are the result of his own blind ambition. The play starts in a bleak Scottish field. Macbeth and Banquo, 2 of King Duncan's generals, discover 3 witches. The witches say that Macbeth will be promoted twice, once to the Thane of Cawdor, and the second King of Scotland. Banquo's descendants will be kings, but Banquo isn't promised any kingdom himself. The generals want to hear more, but the witches disappear. Soon afterwards, King Duncan names Macbeth Thane of Cawdor as a reward for his success in recent battles. The promotion seems to support the prophecy. The king then proposes to make a brief visit that night at Macbeth's castle in Inverness. Lady Macbeth receives news from her husband about the prophecy and his new title. She vows to help him become king by whatever means are necessary. The scene that starts all Macbeth's problems and takes him to the point of no return is Act 2, Scene 2, which is what will be performed.
My husband! I've done the deed. Did thou not hear a noise? I heard the owl scream and the crickets cry. Did you not speak? When? Now? As I descend? Ay. Hark, who lies in thy second chamber? Donalbain? This is a sorry sight. A foolish thought, sorry sight. There's one did laugh in sleep, and one cried murder. They did wake each other. I stood there and heard them, but they did say their prayers and address them again to sleep. There are 2 lodged together. One cried, God bless us, and amen the other. As they had seen me with these hangman's hands, listening their fear, I could not say amen when they did say God bless us. Consider it not so deeply. But wherefore could I not pronounce amen? I had need of blessing, and amen stuck in my throat. These deeds must not be thought as these ways, so it will make us mad. Methought I heard a voice, sleep no more. Macbeth does murder sleep, the innocent sleep, sleep that knits up the raveled sleeve of care, the death of each day's life, solar labor's death. Balm of hurt minds, great nature's second course, chief nourisher of life's feast. What do you mean? Still it cried, sleep no more, to all the house. Glamis hath murdered sleep, and therefore Cawdor shall sleep no more, Macbeth shall sleep no more. Who was it that thus cried? Why, worthy Thane, do you unbed your noble strength to think so brain-sickeningly of things? Go get some water, and wash this filthy witness from your hand. Why did you bring these daggers from the place? They must lie there. Go carry on and smear the sleepy grooms with blood. I'll go no more. I am afraid to think what I have done. Look it again, I dare not. Infirm of purpose, give me the daggers. The sleeping and the dead are but as pictures. 'Tis the eye of childhood. The fears are a painted evil. If he do bleed, I'll gild the faces of the grooms withal, for it must seem their guilt. Whence is that knocking? How is't with me when every noise appalls me? What hands are here? Ha! They pluck out mine eyes. With all great Neptune's ocean, wash this blood clean from my hand. No, this hand will rather the multitudinous seas incarnadine make the green one red. My hands are of your color, but I shame to wear a heart so white. I hear a knocking at the south entry. Retire to our chamber. A little water will clear us of this deed. How easy it is then to your constancy hath left you unattended. Hark, more knocking. Get on your nightgown, lest occasion calls us, and not to be us watchers, be not lost so poorly in our thoughts. To know my deed, 'twere best not know myself. Wake, Duncan, with thy knocking, I would thou could.
This scene shows the point of no return on any of the events that happen in the play. Like how when one domino falls, the rest follows. This play has many themes, but the key and important ones are fate and free will, ambition, and power. After killing King Duncan, Macbeth becomes King of Scotland, but is soon plagued by feelings of insecurity. He remembers the prophecy that Banquo's descendants will inherit the throne and arranges for Banquo and his son Fleance to be killed. In the darkness, Banquo is murdered, but his son escapes the assassins. At a state banquet that night, Macbeth sees the ghost of Banquo and worries the courtiers with his mad response. Lady Macbeth dismisses the court and unsuccessfully tries to calm her husband. Macbeth seeks out the witches, who say that he will be safe until a local wood, Birnam Wood, marches into the battle against him. He also need not fear anyone born of woman. They also say that the Scottish succession will still come from Banquo's son. Macbeth embarks on a reign of terror, slaughtering many, including Macduff's family. Macduff had gone to seek Malcolm, one of Duncan's sons who fled, at the court of English king. Malcolm is young and unsure of himself, but Macduff, pained with grief, persuades him to lead an army against Macbeth. Macbeth feels safe in his remote castle at Dunsinane until he is told that Birnam Wood is moving towards him. Malcolm's army is carrying branches from the forest as camouflage for their assault on Macbeth's stronghold. Meanwhile, an overwrought and conscience-ridden Lady Macbeth walks in her sleep and tells her secrets to her doctor. She commits suicide. As the final battle commences, Macbeth hears of Lady Macbeth's suicide and mourns. In the midst of a losing battle, Macduff challenges Macbeth. Macbeth learns Macduff is the child of a cesarean birth, realizes he is doomed, and submits to his enemy. Macduff triumphs and brings the head of the traitor Macbeth to Malcolm. Malcolm declares peace and goes to Scone to be crowned king. Harold Bloom has been quoted to say that no other work engulfs the audience in phantasmagoria, which is a sequence of real or imaginary images like those seen in a dream. He has also said that the witchcraft, while pervasive, doesn't alter the material or tangible parts of the play, but the hallucinations do. I personally find, of the few plays I have read, that Macbeth is my favorite because of the twists and turns, and also certain scenes in the play have been alluded to in some of my favorite shows.